He was told not to speak, not a single word. The order had come from the military officials who had brought him aboard the alien flagship orbiting the human colony world. Every officer had repeated it, every commander's glare sharper than the starlight outside the viewport. Speak, and risk provoking an incident. Speak, and the fragile alliance might shatter. Yet when he stepped into the royal chamber of the alien queen, he could feel the weight of a different kind of command, one written in silence but louder than any voice. The room was vast, circular, lit by a soft amber glow that shimmered like molten glass. The queen sat atop a carved dais, her form elegant, her presence intimidating, yet not cruel. Her eyes, however, were curious, probing, as if she had already seen him before and now sought confirmation of something she couldn't name. Beside her, almost hidden by the flowing robes and glowing light, was a girl, young, delicate, her hands moving slowly as she signed something to her mother. The human boy froze for a heartbeat, recognizing the motion. He had learned a few signs back on Earth from his cousin, who was deaf. It had been little more than a curiosity then, a passing lesson. But now, staring at the alien child who seemed to wait with a mixture of fear and hope, he felt the urge to act. He swallowed. Military protocol screamed at him to remain silent. But the girl's eyes were wide, searching, as if asking for something she didn't have the words for. Tentatively, he raised a hand and signed. Slow and careful. Hello, my name is Eli. I'm human. The room fell into a stillness so profound that he could hear the faint hum of the ship's engines. The queen's head tilted slightly, and the girl's eyes widened further. She repeated his signs, mirroring his hands with awkward precision, her small fingers trembling. The queen's lips moved, though no sound came. Then, in an almost imperceptible gesture, she motioned for Eli to continue. Encouraged, he signed, I was told not to speak. I can't speak here, but I want to help. The girl's hands froze mid. For a moment, Eli feared he had misstepped, that his boldness would bring immediate punishment. But then, slowly, she signed back, help you. Her toneless gesture carried a weight far beyond words. A fragile trust placed entirely in the human boy. He nodded, signing as clearly as he could. Yes, I don't know what you need yet, but I want to help. Please tell me. The queen's eyes softened, and Eli felt the invisible tension in the room shift. He realized he was witnessing something far beyond diplomacy. Here, in a chamber orbiting a distant world, trust was being built not with words, but with movement, with understanding, with patience. The girl's hands moved again, more confident this time. She signed a string of gestures that made Eli's brow furrow. He didn't understand all of them, but he caught the key message. Danger. A threat. Something coming to the colony. Eli's mind raced. He wanted to warn the humans, to shout and alert every officer on the ship, but he remembered the strict command to remain silent. Instead, he gestured to the queen, pointing at the viewport, then to the colony below, then mimed explosions, hoping she would understand the urgency. The queen's eyes narrowed, then widened, then fixed on Eli with something akin to admiration. She leaned toward her daughter, signing rapidly. The girl responded immediately, then turned back to Eli and signed a new phrase. You trusted me. We trust you. Eli's chest tightened. Trust, a human concept, perhaps universal, yet so rarely given in these cold, bureaucratic corridors of interstellar politics. He nodded, signing back. Thank you. I will not betray you. Time seemed to stretch. Outside the viewport, the colony glimmered like a jewel, serene yet vulnerable. Eli understood the stakes. The threat the girl had signed about was no small skirmish. It was an attack force, weapons capable of annihilating the settlement in minutes. And he had no voice to command a warning. Only his hands, only his connection with these two beings who had no reason yet to believe in him, could act. He moved closer, signing with a precision born of urgency, describing the path of the incoming fleet, the likely point of impact, and what precautions could save lives. The girl followed every gesture, responding with signs that indicated comprehension. The queen watched silently, occasionally touching the girl's shoulder, as if reinforcing her daughter's faith in this human stranger. Finally, Eli finished. His arms fell to his sides, and he exhaled a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. The room was silent, yet it vibrated with unspoken understanding. The queen's gaze met his, and this time, a small nod. Then she turned to her daughter, signing slowly, deliberately. The girl's face lit up, her fingers dancing with the language they had just shared. She turned back to Eli, her hands a blur of motion, then paused, eyes bright. He deciphered it. You saved us. You will save many. Eli swallowed again. He had not saved anyone yet. He had only bridged a gap, proven his willingness to communicate, to understand. Yet in that moment, he felt the weight of humanity behind him. Every human on the colony, every soldier, every civilian, though they did not know it, yet depended on the trust he had earned with these aliens, with the queen and her daughter. The queen finally spoke. Her voice was melodic, strange to human ears, yet unmistakably calm. You are human. You have no reason to care for us. Yet you have shown understanding beyond your kind's usual reach. You will be heard. And with that, a small device was placed in Eli's hands, a communicator that translated thought and sign into speech. For the first time, he could speak, but he didn't need to. He signed again. Simple, clear, warning. Incoming attack. Colony needs defense. The device translated, and alarms blared throughout the ship and the colony. Human soldiers scrambled, defenses activated, and the threat that had loomed so closely was met with prepared resistance. Eli watched the battle unfold through the view. Ships maneuvered, weapons discharged, and slowly, the tide turned. The colony survived. When the alarms finally quieted, the Queen approached him. Her expression was unreadable at first, then softened. She knelt slightly, bringing herself to his level, and signed one last phrase. "You are welcome here, human. Always welcome." The girl peeked from behind her mother, shy but smiling, her hands brushing against his in a gesture of friendship. Eli realized that the orders to remain silent had never mattered in this room. What mattered was courage, empathy, and the willingness to bridge the void between species. And as the human boy looked out at the stars, he understood something essential. Humanity's strength was not in weapons, not in fleets, not in speeches. It was in trust, in understanding, in reaching across the silence and finding a voice, even without words. And in that chamber with the Queen and her daughter, he had found his voice.